Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the October 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aquarius. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at what's coming for October. We're also going to do a money column, a love column. In the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guide, so something to carry into the month of October with you. Let's go ahead and see here, pulling a summary card. Again, column number 1 being what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card Balance. Balance is good. A lot of times with this card, this is about like persevering and overcoming, but I hope for a lot of you that this had a very literal meaning of having balance these last few weeks or month. In general, we like to see those balance type cards, but let's see what type of messages we've got coming through here. Let me scoot you up just a tiny bit too. Okay. The first card that we have is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is very patient, so something potentially could have been taking a little bit more time than you would have anticipated it would. We were saying that sometimes things are a little bit harder or more challenging to overcome than we would have anticipated. The Page of Pentacles, though, is also a really good money card. This is new job, raise, some sort of money news. So likely a good financial shift for you these last few weeks, Aquarius. The next card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. If you look at this card, though, these people aren't fighting with swords, they're fighting with wands. So this is typically an indicator of small bumps in the road, but again, an indicator that maybe things are a little bit more trying, a little bit more challenging than we would have liked them to be. And then at the bottom here, we have the Sun card. In terms of good card in the tarot deck, it really truly does not get better than the Sun card. The Sun card's a card of material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. I love the Sun card no matter where it comes up in the reading. So although things might have been a little bit more challenging, I feel like you were genuinely happy. You did find balance, you persevered, you overcame these obstacles. Potentially, again, there was some new money or promotion or raise for you. So a lot of happiness. And the nice thing is I feel this happiness continuing forward too. It's not like you were just happy last month or last week. This happiness is continuing for you, which is really, really neat to see, Aquarius. Let's clarify this column though and see what other messages we have. The first card that we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card with a lot of different meanings, but I want to focus in on this fourth cup in the corner here. This is a card of surprise gifts. So I feel like this promotion, this raise, this new income really truly feels like a gift, and it very much so could have been a surprise. But this could have been like a spot bonus or just a bonus you weren't expecting as well. But again, really nice to see this new money, surprising new money specifically. We have the Sun card again. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know I love when the same card comes up in the same column. It's the universe or the world saying, I said what I meant. It's a very clear message there with the Sun card. So even though things were challenging, there could have been bumps in the road, at the end of the day, happiness is continuing. And like I said, it's moving forward too. This balance, this harmony, this happiness, this contentment is carrying forward for you. The next card that we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card of having lots of different things happening. If you look at this card, there's something different in each cup. And I'm getting a really unique message here, not something I don't think I've ever said with this card. But for whatever reason, this happiness, this joy, this success, what I'm getting, the message that I'm hearing is doors are being opened. So doors are opening for you. Lots and lots of options, lots and lots of places you can be, places you can go, things you can do. Lots of options coming for you. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is just general, what's coming for October. We have the card Surface. Surface is an interesting card. It's about taking something at face value. And interestingly enough, oftentimes we don't do that. Like, we make people prove themselves or we investigate the situation. And Surface is almost like permission to accept someone or something at face value. They could almost seem, or the situation could almost seem less valuable than it is too. Like, this person or thing ends up being better than we expected. So taking them at face value is like a bonus or a perk, or I'm having a hard time pinning that down exactly what I want to say there. But again, this is like this card saying that it's okay to take something or someone at face value. Let's take a look though, Aquarius, and see what messages we've got coming through here. The first card that we have is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very intentional, very strategic, very thoughtful. Whatever this, we're working on something long term. We're planning on making a big move here, Aquarius, and it may not be like a physical relocation move. Of course, it could be for some of you, but you're trying to make some sort of big move. Maybe you're trying to buy a house, buy a car, go back to school, get a new job. You're working on something big, and it's something very long term, which I like to see. This is an indicator of success. So not only do I see you working on this thing, I see it being successful for you long term, which is really exciting. Again, this is about being very intentional and being very strategic as well. One thing to keep in mind with the King of Swords, sometimes this card can be getting professional help. So like, if you're trying to buy a house, make sure you're talking to a broker and have a great realtor. If you're trying to buy a car, make sure you're talking to someone who's very informed about cars. This is a card of like seeking professional help. So as you go through this big move, maybe you're going to retire. Super exciting for those of you potentially that are retiring. Consult somebody that can help you budget plan or make sure your finances are aligned. But again, professional help there with the King of Swords. The next card that we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords kind of has twofold meaning, so I'm going to give you both here. One meaning is that you could be finding something out here, you could be getting truth, and I think for many of you that truth is going to be that whatever you accept at face value is going to be better than you thought it was. The other meaning of the Page of Swords, though, is very gossipy, very drama-like. I always tell people, like, when you see and hear the water cooler talk, stay away from it. Try and stay away from the gossip or the drama, because that can be associated with this Page of Swords as well. So be thoughtful of that. You definitely could be finding something else out. You could be finding out truth, but definitely for some of you, avoid that kind of gossipy drama. And then at the bottom here we have the Hermit. The Hermit's a card of going within for clarity. This light inside the lantern is the light within you. And this is about checking in and making sure you're doing things that feel good for you. I think you're deep in thought already, though, with this King of Swords. It's so intentional. It's so strategic. But this is about having good, clean thought process. The first clarifier we have is the Ace of Swords. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness, but this is new idea, new mental clarity. Clarity is kind of key here. Again, seeking that professional help to make sure you're very clear on what you want to accomplish, but also how to accomplish it, and you can get that how support from somebody professional. But you're very, very clear on what you like. Aquarius, I like this energy of being so thoughtful, being so present, knowing exactly where you want to be. The next card that we have is the Justice card. I am going to lean towards this being truth coming out because the Justice card is a truth card as well. So you have the Page of Swords saying truth and the Justice card saying truth. I like to point out, so the Justice card is a really good card in terms of court, legal matters, contracts, truth coming out in your favor. So definitely some more information coming to you this month. And then at the bottom here, we have the Six of Wands. I think this is a really nice cap to this row. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. Whatever this new thing is that you're taking on, I kind of already alluded to this. It's very strategic. It's very long term. It's very successful. It's very intentional, well planned out. But this is kind of like a confirmation that it is going to be successful with the Six of Wands. And with the Hermit as well, this is like an indicator that you are going to feel good about what you're doing. So like that pairing there at the bottom. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. The first card we have is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is very studious and very hardworking. I do think it's going to be a pretty busy month for you, but you need to stay heads down and you need to stay hardworking. This is also a card of volunteerism, so some of you definitely could be taking some time off, especially for those of you with companies that have that volunteer time off. I could see you doing some volunteer time off this month. The next card that we have is the Four of Cups. This Four of Cups we had earlier. Again, the fourth cup here is really what the message is, and it's a surprise gift. I feel like there's this money that's coming in that was unexpected, or this pay raise, or this promotion, or maybe even like a party to celebrate you. But these gifts seem to continue to keep coming in, which is really neat, and they do seem financial and in state. At the bottom here, we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety, grief, depression. There's something that's worrying you. I'm hoping we can get more information on this and further clarify. But you want to be very careful with this card. You see this person is worried to the point where they're like sitting up in bed and can't sleep. Let's see, though, what information I can provide you there. The first clarifier we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful. We love to see this resourceful card in the money column. This means that we're being resourceful with the resources that we have. And I feel like you've been working towards this. Maybe some of you were like big time spenders before or not good at savings. I'm getting that this was like kind of like you've worked up to this point, Aquarius, where you are now being resourceful with your resources. So it's really neat to see. But in general, just a good money card to come through in the column. It is also a good reminder, though, to be saving and to be budgeting accordingly. Again, being thoughtful with the resources we have. The next card that we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty, wanting to run away. This is going to tie in with the Nine of Swords. So there is some sort of event this month that is bothering you, that's popping up. I feel like you want to leave your job, Aquarius, but I don't know that you're going to. I do think that this is going to be resolved. But like something does come up that's bothering you and keeping you awake. However, the nice thing is it seems really short-lived. And to further clarify, we have the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of generosity. And I do feel like this is going to be like back and forth. Like this is a card, it's kind of hard to see there, but there's this balance beam. So I feel like you'll be able to come to a resolution where it's kind of this give and take back and forth that resolves this conflict and puts these kind of worries and anxiety to bed. Metaphorically or literally here for some of you that can't sleep. But again, it's going to be a balancing act. Like it's not going to feel like either of you won. I don't know that compromise is the right word, but definitely collaboration needs to happen to resolve this thing that's bothering you. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. Think family, friends, relationship, children, whatever you associate with love, Aquarius. The first card that we have is the Ace of Wands. I mentioned earlier, anytime we have an ace card, it is a card of newness. With the case of Ace of Wands, it's new project, new inspiration, new urge to create. I'm getting the feeling that some of you want something in a relationship that maybe you don't have currently. This is the urge to create the relationship, or create a home together, or create a family together. Definitely new urge to create. It's like you've realized that you want something that potentially you don't have. And the nice thing about the Ace of Wands is this is not only the urge to create, but the ability to create. So it's not like you want something that you can't have. Definitely a good indicator, though, again, for those of you wanting new relationships, wanting to further your relationship, wanting to grow your family. The next card that we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. If you look at this person, they're blindfolded, their arms are bound down, and their swords stuck all around them. They could very easily wiggle back and cut themselves free. So do make sure that you're not limiting yourself this month. Again, if you want that new relationship, make sure you're going out and meeting people or on dating apps. It's like, I want to be in a relationship, but then all I do is sit at home, and you know what I mean? Somebody will likely not show up at your door, Aquarius. So, and this could be for any situation, but this is about making sure that you are not limiting yourself from accomplishing whatever it is that you're hoping to accomplish here. The next card that we have is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is very solid, very practical, very wise. And these are good things for you to live by. So as you think through really any decision, but especially as it relates to love and relationships, make sure we have this solid, practical, wise approach on everything that we do. This is kind of more about thinking with our head this month, more so than thinking with our heart. So a little bit more balance in that perspective. This is also a card of leadership. So you may find that you're having to lead somebody or support somebody in a different manner than you have. Feels to be more friends and family there. But let's clarify this column and see what else we've got going on. The first card that we have is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very self-sufficient, very honest. Honesty is going to be what's important here. Now that we understand what we want, you need to begin to communicate what you want, Aquarius. And this isn't just telling your partner what you want, but it's almost like setting intentions and beginning to attract this to you. So it goes beyond just telling somebody. It's like changing the thoughts and opening the way you think to start receiving what you want here. The next card that we have is the Moon card. The Moon card is a card of trusting your intuition here. So these actually pair pretty nicely together. The Eight of Swords is again that self-imposed restriction, and the Moon card is about trusting yourself. So sometimes we get into this cycle of overthinking or looking into things or not believing what we're seeing or thinking. And it can really hinder ourselves. So we need to trust our intuition, trust our gut as we navigate this month, and just make sure that we're not holding ourselves back. Sometimes we do blindly hold ourselves back, and we want to be thoughtful and prevent that where we can. The next card we have is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of speed, action, quick change. I like to see this here because we were just saying with the Ace of Wands, we figured out what we want, and this is going to indicate that it's going to come to us pretty quickly. So an interesting October for sure, getting a grip and an understanding on what we want, and very quickly receiving what we want there. Neat to see. Now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Expectation. I love this because oftentimes this is an indicator that things are going to exceed your expectations. So October is going to be better than you expected. This also gives you an opportunity to reset expectations. So this encourages you to poke holes in your expectations and see if they are set correctly. Are they set too high? Are they set too low? Usually set too low, because again, this is about exceeding expectations. But let's see what messages we have in this fifth and final column here for you. The first card we have is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of expansion. I see a lot of growth coming this month. This could be growth of relationship, family, money, opportunity. This is also a card of travel. If you have the opportunity to travel at all this month, I would say go for it. Really nice travel card. The next card we have is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. The interesting thing about this card is when I see the Eight of Pentacles, this is a card of hard work. But not only is it a card of hard work, it's your hard work paying off, which is the best part about it. And again, this expansion is coming because you've been working hard for it. And then here we have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is an indicator of a decision. So there very well could be a decision that's coming up. And with the Two of Pentacles, it's important that we weigh our options, weigh our decision. Let's see what clarifiers we have here, though. The first clarifier we have is the Two of Wands. This is another card of travel, so definitely for those of you wanting to travel, make sure you get it done. Like I said, October looks like a really good month for travel. The Two of Wands is also a card of decision, so definitely a decision does need to be made this month. Going back to what we were talking about with being solid, practical, wise, all of those things will help us make good decisions. Also, if it's like a decision of something old versus something new, I encourage you to go on the new path. It's like you've worked hard for this new path, so capitalize on this new opportunity. The next card we have is the Death card. This is a card of transformation and change. Again, you've worked hard with the Eight of Pentacles to this point to get to the point where you can make this change or make this transition through this decision. But definitely go with the new path. The Death card is always an indicator for new beginnings. And then last but not least, we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a celebratory card, so definitely celebration worthy as we make this decision with the Two of Pentacles. We're going to be very happy with the path we chose. Okay, Aquarius, at this time I'm going to give the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. Question number 1, though, is the Six of Spades. This is number 29 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2 is the Five of Hearts. This is the number 2 card. That's going to be a yes. And question number 3 is the Two of Clubs. This is number 46 card. That's going to be a no. So no, yes, no for you, Aquarius. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. This is a crystal to keep with you through the month of October. You have rock crystal, which is also clear quartz. This is great for protection, clarity, purity, energy. Really helps you focus with aim in life as well. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says, all healing is first a healing of the heart. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Again, those subscriptions help me greatly. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Aquarius, and I hope you have a wonderful October.